Okay. So, welcome to the first ever Don't Be a Zombie: How to Regain Your Purpose and Fulfill Your Personal Dreams. I'm Lisa Kastner. I am actually the founder and executive editor of Running Wild and Rise Presses. And actually, you guys probably know me more so from we have a live stream that we conduct on Thursdays, which is an opportunity for you to ask the editors of Running Wild and Rise whatever the heck you want. And we also have another live stream, which is a storyteller's happy hour, where we get a few folks together, some authors and editors, and just to kind of sit around, tell, tall tales and imbibe. It's actually pretty hilarious. And then we also have one that's a 20 questions where I basically sit down with some of our fantastic authors and I ask them 20 out of the box questions, some pretty decent, others pretty ridiculous. But again, it's all done with the intent of having a good time. So, I'm sure you're wondering, like, what the heck is this, right? Don't be a zombie. Like, I'm not a zombie. I'm all together. I got everything going on. Well, it's funny, like in my life, and I'm sure in many of your lives, you've experienced periods where you kind of felt like lethargic, or you've lost your purpose. You didn't know why you were doing the things that you were doing, or you were like totally overwhelmed. There was so much going on in your life that you just didn't know where to turn. And I have to admit, like, I've experienced that several times in my life. And thankfully, I am like a super nerd. I love to research. I love to investigate. I like to find out, like, what are better ways to do things. And because of that nerd tendency, when I hit those zombie moments, what that meant was I then did that homework and I found ways over the several years of my being alive, or pseudo alive, depending on how you want to view it. And I figured out how to get out of it, and not only just get out of the that feeling of being a zombie or having no purpose, having no intent, but also how to refigure out, how to refine who I am, what I want to do, what I want to be, what will really make me passionate. So I've had so much success with this, and I've seen so many others use very similar techniques that we figured, you know what, we got to start a podcast on this. So now you will get to join me on Tuesdays at 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Probably not for a full half hour. All we're going to do is cover a specific topic. I'll walk you through what that topic is. I'll walk you through how I personally addressed it in specific situations that I personally went through that I needed to address it. And then kind of and give you those stepping stones, right? Give you those activities that can help you personally in very similar situations. So, with that, I'm kind of going to leave you this week with a simple teaser. So, what I want you to do is I want you to take a moment, clear your head, and just sit down and write everything that comes to mind. I want you to really kind of allow yourself to own everything that you find frustrating, everything that you find angering, everything that you feel is really kind of taking you off of your core road, right? Where you want to be. So, uh, interestingly enough, um, I was actually going to start this last week, and literally the ceiling in my office fell in because I was having my roof redone, because it turns out that whoever owned my home before me, they did not have the roof done to code. And when the Los Angeles city inspector came and saw it, he said, I can't approve any kind of adjustments to this, any kind of fixes. You've got to replace the whole thing. which just set off a long series of, I want to say Monty Python esque situations. So, in that example, I got sidetracked because my ceiling literally fell in right behind me, and I had to address everything associated with that. So, because of that, I had to cancel this live stream for last week. And then what I did is I sat down and I figured out, okay, what do I need to do to at least get this somewhat under control? What has to happen? I started executing against that, identifying the situations. Who do I need to engage? What has to happen in order for A, my ceiling to get repaired, B, to have my roof fully repaired, and C, to ensure that I had financial coverage for this. So once I had all of that done, I could like almost visually imagine it in a box where now this was something I've taken care of and I can put it aside. So what I'm challenging you to do is to take all those things that are frustrating you and angering you and making you feel just off kilter, right? Like not 100%. And I want you to write it all down. And then I want you to either A, rip it up and just toss it. It is not your thing anymore. Or B, uh, I want you to take it and put it in a box because we're actually going to be revisiting a lot of these activities, these things that are causing you to feel um, not 1,000% and feel like you've lost your goal, your purpose, your reason for being. And again, put it aside. We'll get back to it. So, with that, I want to thank you for joining me, and I hope you enjoy this exercise. Again, go have at it, just take it, have a blast, spend like 5, 10 minutes doing it, and I will see you next week. Ciao.